and people are sweating in the beta of the game. I'm like, bro, it's a beta that's only online for 3 days for the weekend. Today we're discussing a video about how streamers ruin gaming. I don't know if streaming ruined gaming, but there was definitely a shift when streaming actually came around in the terms of certain types of games. Like if you watch Twitch and you watch, people play games or whatever, every couple of months there's a new game comes out. You can tell it was made strictly for content creators or with streamers in mind. And it's like that new flavor of the month type game where it's cool to watch your favorite streamer play, but you don't actually want to play yourself. Like there's so many games that come out like that. So I mean, streaming definitely had an effect on video games, but ruin gaming I think is a pretty strong statement.
Now, a few months ago, I was actually scrolling through Twitter and I saw this tweet right here that says, dominating blue-collar workers in BattleBit. If you don't know what BattleBit is, well, it's basically like Battlefield.
That's definitely a crazy tweet. They're either a kid that, they have a lot of time on their hands or just somebody without a job who's just been playing that shit all day, which is kind of crazy. It's not exactly the flex they thought it was.
Blocks, and this is pretty much the whole clip.
It's crazy because like who sweats in this game? I saw people play this game and it's just like it seems like a game you would play just to kill some time. Like this is like one of those games you would play where you're in class or something and you're on a computer trying to kill time. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, pretty much that guy is just straight up dominating people. Like that's pretty much it. And I saw a quote tweet that said, esports ruined casual gaming. Now,
that's not true because esports have been around longer than streaming and casual gaming has been just fine. That's definitely someone who's that person's got to be young who said that.
I know the whole title of this video is like something along the lines of how streamers ruined gaming, but I'm gonna put streamers and esports kind of in the same category. I say that because with streaming, you kind of got to either be good at a game or funny, and with esports, you got to be good at a game. So I'm gonna put them both together because they're pretty similar, if I do say so myself.
I mean, I get that. I don't know if I would put them together because esports, your focus isn't necessarily to entertain a crowd. It's just to be good at the game you're playing. And that's all you really have to think about. Streaming is a whole different thing. It's more entertainment based. I feel like I want to say the majority of people who stream, at least in gaming, I don't think the majority of the popular ones are people who are good at one specific game. I think it's more so the streamers who are actually just entertaining in what they're doing. There's definitely a couple of people who are just really good at a game, so they have the viewers, but I don't think that's a majority.
But to really understand this, we got to go all the way back to 2018, the Fortnite boom. Back in 2018, every single human being was talking about Fortnite. I mean, back then you had Fortnite meme pages,
I mean, to be fair, any game when it first comes out, it's not going to be, it's not going to have sweats like that. But if it has I promise you, if it's a multiplayer game, it has some type of competitive edge, eventually people are going to start sweating in it. So it was only a matter of time. It was inevitable. I played Fortnite when it first came out, and it was definitely cool. It's funny because I only wanted to play Fortnite for the PvE stuff, like it was originally supposed to be. I had no idea it was going to turn into this huge multiplayer thing. It's such a wild thing to think about.
A human being was posting their wins. People were doing emotes IRL.
Fortnite.
He got that shit, bro. That's so crazy, bro.
I mean, that's how we got the infamous ninja clip.
Everyone wants to get it. Come on, baby. Show me what you got. Show me. Just move. If you got to know it, just move. It's all I want to.
That shit is so... Oh my God, I feel bad for him, bro. I'm dying inside. I'm cringing inside, bro. Holy shit. That's got to be one of his most embarrassing moments.
I'm not seeing enough movement. Oh my God.
And since Fortnite was so popular, one thing that also became popular because of Fortnite was streaming. Back then, Twitch was like pretty niche, but
I don't know. I get where he's going with this, but I don't think Fortnite popularized streaming. I really don't. I'm not saying it didn't have an effect or it didn't help, but popularize is kind of crazy.
I'd say that Fortnite made Twitch more mainstream. And you may be asking, why did people go to Twitch and not YouTube? Well, the thing about YouTube is that a lot of YouTube videos are edited, and some people, they may be good on YouTube, but it's like...
Did YouTube have live streaming back then? I honestly don't remember. 2018, they must have, right? And even if they did, there's no way. Like Twitch, in my opinion, Twitch is just a better streaming platform. Like I really would like YouTube to go all in on streaming and just make it a better like experience overall, because I wouldn't mind streaming on YouTube, but Twitch is just miles ahead of YouTube when it comes to streaming, because it almost feels like YouTube doesn't necessarily care about their streaming platform. It feels like it's just like, oh, we have it, you can do it, and we have the bare minimum here. but we're not really focused on that. I feel like they're putting more effort and energy into YouTube Shorts than they are YouTube streaming, which is annoying.
Like on Twitch is live, Twitch is raw. So if you lose, like, people are gonna see you lose, and if you win, people are gonna see you win. I remember I was back in like freaking 10th grade and we were arguing at lunch tables talking about if Myth or Ninja was better. I'm not gonna lie.
I never really got into Fortnite that deep. I feel like I was already out of the game by that point. Like, I was there when it just started getting a little sweaty, and once, you know, people started getting crazy with bills, I was like, yeah, I'm out. This isn't fun for me anymore. Like, I'll never be like, I played it casually with my friends. I'm be honest, I only played it because my friends played it. I never played it solo. And then once people started, you know, sweating and building like that, I'm like, yeah, I can't do this no more. It's not for me.
If I had to crank a few 90s to be a freaking Fortnite pro back then, I probably would. And that's exactly where the downfall.
I remember the days where I wanted to get in the pro gaming scene. Oh man, what a time. It didn't last very long, and to this day, I'm glad I didn't, because being a pro, like a quote unquote pro gamer, it looks cool, but it sounds awful. Having to play one game all the time, get really good at it, just to barely make any money. No thanks, I'm good.
Back then, if you shot at a dude, they would probably start shooting at you back, like they wouldn't even build. But now,
I was that guy. I was the one who didn't build for shit. I was too stubborn. I'm like, it's like, because I could beat you. Like, I could beat people in a shootout. That was no problem. But then once I started doing that building shit and still shooting me, I was like, bro, I gotta go. I can't do this.
if you shoot at somebody in Fortnite, they're building a whole freaking skyscraper hotel with Wi-Fi. It's actually wild. Now, let me say this right now. I do also say that that's kind of just time. Like, with time, people get better. But my point is that
exactly, that's what I was saying.
Games to be the best rather than to just have fun with their boys. Everyone is.
That is something I do agree with. Like, some of my friends will only play a game if it has like if it has a multiplayer competitive mode to it. Like, it's not hard, but it's rare where I can get my friends to like, yo, let's check out this co-op game. They're like, does it have multiplayer? And they'll kind of like brush it off. It's like they need competitive and everything. Like, and I'm one of those people who are like, not every game needs to be competitive. Shoot, like not every game needs to be even have multiplayer. It's because I come from, like, I started gaming and I mostly focused on like single player games. So like, the thought of only playing a game because it has like a competitive mode is crazy to me.
Like, everyone is just playing for that top spot, because in that top spot, you can make content out of it, and with that content comes a whole lot of money. Unless you're playing like Farming Simulator and you're a pro. I don't really think you make a lot of money from like pro Farming Simulator, but I don't know. I might become a Farming Simulator pro. You never.
I feel like you could, like, if you did it right, I feel like you could make a lot of money because it's some silly shit you never seen. Like someone who's a pro at, farming sim. If you marketed it right and like did videos and edited that shit, I think that shit could be pretty funny, because like, who the fuck plays that? Who's a pro at that game? You know what I mean? I think it'd probably be low-key. I think it might be easier to do something like that than trying to like be a pro Fortnite streamer or whatever.
Never know, bars. But yeah, everyone's pretty much playing to be watched. I remember back then, games wouldn't really get sweaty until like 2 or 3 weeks after release.
Yeah, that's true.
Games are sweaty off the rip. It can be.
Bro, I've played beta for games, like FPS shooters or just multiplayer games, and people are sweating in the beta of the game. I'm like, bro, it's a beta that's only online for 3 days for the weekend. Why are you sweating like this? Your stats aren't getting saved or anything like that. That stuff is always annoying.
5 days away from Call of Duty coming out, and you already got a dude making a video saying best class setup 2023.
Yeah, that shit is crazy to me, dude.
MW3, and it's like, bro, the game hasn't even released. And when you get up to that top rank, you can stream, create content from it. More people are gonna watch you because you're up high.
I mean, that's true, but is that like a gaming thing? Like, the title of the video is how streamers ruin gaming. You might change that to like how content creation kind of had an effect on gaming. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it's just streaming. I think it's content creation in general, where people are approaching how they play video games and things like that differently if they want to make videos.
Back then, you would play games for the fun because there was really no money involved. But now it's...
To be fair, I agree with what you're saying, but to be fair, winning is also very fun. Nobody likes to lose, and getting to the top spot in a competitive game, that's incredibly fun. I'm not going to deny that. But to try to do that in every single game you play is just like, there's no way you're enjoying the game.
It's like every single human being is trying to become the top streamer, and it's like, bro, like, where's the fun in that? Back then, gaming tournaments were giving out speckles. I'm telling you, if you want a gaming tournament for like freaking Mortal Kombat or Halo,
bro, it's still like that. Like, especially like the FGC, like, you do not make money playing video games competitively unless you are winning in that top spot. Otherwise, it's a waste of money. Otherwise, you're going in a negative when it comes to actually trying to cover the funds to travel there and all that stuff. Like, you have to be number one. And I don't know, to me, it's just not worth it.
Halo or something like that, you were probably going to get 50 cents in a Big Mac. But now, if you win a freaking Fortnite tournament or you just win a freaking Call of Duty tournament, dog, you're honestly set. You can buy your mom a freaking mansion. People are getting millions from tournaments. I mean, look at Booga.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not really tapped in like I thought I am. But I know when it comes to fighting games in you know, professional scene, they don't make that much money, bro. They really don't. But maybe because they're not as popular as the other type of games, so there's not as much money in those.
Bro, didn't he won like 3 million, I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Holy shit, $3 million.
Fortnite. That is wild. That is insane money.
You don't ever have to play Fortnite again after that. You know what I'm saying? If I won $3 million off of winning a Fortnite tournament, I'm not playing the game anymore. I don't care. I already have $3 million. What's the point? Like, I can immediately venture off and do other things where now maybe I just play Fortnite for fun if I really want to, but I'm not playing competitively anymore. What's the point?
Thing about gaming after streaming is that games that aren't even sweaty are becoming sweaty. For example,
absolutely.
I remember back in 2020.
No. Fall Guys. I was a big sweat in Fall Guys. Holy shit. I'm not even going to cap. I was a big sweat. I was winning, bro. That shit was just fun, though. I was sweating, but because I enjoyed it. It wasn't like frustrating to lose in Fall Guys. Like, it was fun playing that game. Like, I would play with my friends, and even if we did lose, like, we were always like dying and stuff. Whereas opposed to you play like Fortnite or something, Apex, and you're losing, it just doesn't feel good.
Every single human being was playing Fall Guys during quarantine. And with everybody playing Fall Guys, TikTok got a hold of that. And I remember scrolling through TikTok one day, and I saw this one dude making videos of the best strats on certain maps on Fall Guys.
That's crazy, because the game is so like straightforward. You don't need the best strats to win. I definitely didn't have the best strats to win, and I won so many times in that game.
To myself, what do you gain from being a sweat in Fall Guys? What do you gain?
Hey man, if there's competitive to it, I told you, there's always going to be sweats in the game no matter what.
I feel like games die out quicker when you're making all these strats and stuff on how to win when it's not even like, obviously.
I think games really die out quicker when the people who make the game intend the game to be like a sweaty E-Fest type of thing. I think that's what ruins games. Like, if a game has multiplayer, it can just naturally find its own competitive audience. But when you try to build that game from the get-go and market it as like a sweat fest type of game, but only competitive gamers are gonna, this is for the, the competitive gamers, then you're gonna have a problem because you're already limiting your target audience and nobody wants to sweat day one.
The goal in Fall Guys is to win, but I feel like the whole point of that game is to enjoy the journey, like the fun with friends, the freaking
I can agree with that 100%.
Dude griefing you on the map. Like, when you're only focused on trying to get crowns in that game, the game becomes less fun because you're just focused on the destination rather than the journey. Since everyone's tryharding, games are now catering to the bad players. One thing that games have been implementing is this thing called skill-based matchmaking. If you don't know what it is, well, I'll basically explain. Think of a lot.
I feel like skill-based matchmaking has been around forever, though, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I'd have to double check it, but I feel like it's been around for a while.
Lobby where all the top players from a bunch of different games all get into a lobby with each other and go head to head. Basically ranked play, but with no bonus rewards or anything. You just kind of get into a lobby with the best players without getting any specific reward in casual play. And the thing about skill-based matchmaking is that it's unfair because the good players are being punished for being good at the game.
I don't know. See, I'm on the fence about the whole thing. I can see both sides, but like, definitely if you're not playing ranked, you're playing casual, then it shouldn't really matter. But when it comes to ranked, you should really play with the good players. Should actually, as you get better at the game, you should be put against other good players. Like, that makes sense. Like, it's no fun when you're not like, you go play a ranked match, and you're clearly not that good, but then you're getting stomped on by teenagers or people who have no life, and there's just no life in the game going crazy. Like, that doesn't feel good. It makes me not want to play the game. It's like, I know I'm not that good at the game. Why am I playing these people that much better than me? I feel like there should be a system in place, but at the same time, I don't think it should exist in casual modes.
And it gets to this point where it's like winning feels like a chore rather than actual fun. Because back then, if you truly wanted to sweat, you would go into like a ranked game mode or something.
Yeah, okay, so that's what he's saying.
Tryhard, you're gonna play every single other tryhard 24/7 just because you're good at the game. Black Ops Cold War, that had some of the worst skill-based matchmaking ever. That game was borderline unplayable because if you won one game, you would be playing the freaking...
It's so funny seeing all these Call of Duty. This is a definitely off a tangent, but I stopped playing Call of Duty a while ago. And it's funny seeing these like clips, and it's still the same maps they're playing on. They're still playing Nuketown, bro. Like, what's going on? Call of Duty is just the same shit all the time, man. It's crazy.
The downfall of video games started when kids complained about people being good at the game. I remember when I was a kid and saw a Master Prestige in COD, I didn't tell him to take a shower or go outside. I sent that MF a friend request.
That's such a crazy. First of all, the down of video games, like, what did he say? The downfall of video games started when kids complained about blah, blah, blah. Like, that's crazy to me because people that say this type of shit, they only play competitive multiplayer games. So to them, if Call of Duty is doing bad, then all video games are doing bad. Like, I think some people need to broaden their horizons and step away from the goddamn, the competitive scene. There's more to video games than that. Nobody was really like, oh man, that dude kicked my ass, I'm gonna send him a friend request. No, they would be toxic.
A lot of people just sit there and complain, and now games are kind of catering to them. But one game that I say that kind of bridged...
And I also disagree with that because I think you shouldn't make your games dedicated or focused on only the competitive player's game, because you're limiting that game's access to people. You're making the game way too sweaty and way too try hard, and your casual people, who are the majority of the people who are going to support your game or play your game, aren't going to be interested in playing that game for very long or even pick it up in the first place. If you make a game where it's just, hey man, we're going to cater to the professional players, the game's not going to be fun to play. I promise you.
The middle ground between the really good players and the really bad players is Street Fighter 6. One thing that Street Fighter 6...
W take, that's actually a really good take. 100%.
But that's a whole fighting game. How can this be fixed in like games that are like FPS or something like that? In my honest opinion, I say that FPS games should just go back to like the regular lobbies.
Also, you could probably do something with like aim assist, but then people would definitely abuse that, so probably not. I don't know. I think it's harder to balance something like that in FPS than it is in a fighting game.
I feel like there should always be that option to stay if you want to stay or leave if you want to leave. There was nothing wrong with those lobbies back then. It's just like games just wanted to cater to the bad players, So it's honestly...
Also, when it comes to like casual games, let people quit casual games. Like, if I'm in a casual game and I'm getting my ass beat or whatever, let me quit and not be punished. It's not that big a deal. It's like, I don't want to deal with these people, man. They're destroying me. I obviously stand no chance. Why do I want to sit here for an entire match and just deal with that in a casual game? Like, especially when there's already backfill. Like, come on now.
Did streamers really ruin gaming? In my honest opinion, yes. I 1000% believe that streamers in esports ruined gaming. Because there is no reason why people should be sweating at a game where you literally farm cabbages. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think streamers / pro players ruined gaming? Or like, what's your guys' take on this whole situation?
I don't think it was necessarily just streamers. I think it was content creation in general that kind of contributes to the point he's trying to make in the video more than just streamers. Like, if people weren't making content for video games, you wouldn't see so many people doing the type of shit they're doing. Like, for example, the farming simulator thing. People are only doing that for content. I don't think people would normally do that like in their free time if people weren't making videos about it. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Anyway, this is a good video. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description box below.